Okay, thanks for joining us, everyone. Another edition. Debbie and myself, we're going to go over how to continue. Us, everyone. See, I got to turn that off. Debbie and there we go. See, did you hear that too?
That echo, yeah.
Yes.
Echo,
There you
echo.
go. Retaining past clients. So we went over this 2 weeks ago. Sorry, we took a week off there, but we're back on track here. So retaining past clients. And to preface this, the good news for all agents, especially new agents, is that if every agent actually did these things, then getting into real estate new would be the worst decision anybody could have. Does that make sense? Because if every agent did a good job of retaining past clients, then only the new business that new agents could get is brand new first-time buyers, because
Yep.
the past clients would continue to go through the agents they have. But that's part of it. The other part of it is about 85% of agents are out of the business every 5 years. So basically 85% of the biz of realtors, it changes. So 5 years ago to today, 85% of realtors are within the last 5 years. Next 5 years, same thing, probably be even more because of the market shift. Probably 90% of realtors that are in today will be different in 5 years from now. And anybody watching this, hopefully it's not you, of course. So that's why you should always keep track of your past clients. And before we go further, I'm going to say this, and I'll say it at the end too, is not just your client, the other client, whoever's involved in a transaction. If it's your listing and you sell it, you stay in touch with that buyer that bought it. That's not your client. It wasn't your client. The day something closes, there's no agency anymore. You can contact that buyer. If you were with the seller, if you work for the buyer, you could contact that seller. Agency stops. So a lot of agents don't realize that, and they, oh, that was that person's client. No, you're not. It's not like you're an attorney. It's a client for life. I mean, like legally attached to you. So when we use the word client, it's really just someone in your database now, but it's a past sale, past experience. They're not legally connected with you anymore. They could use somebody else. So think about that while we're discussing that. But Deb, I'll let you take the first slide. Go ahead.
I want to give you a little statistic first from NAR. So they always conduct buyer surveys and seller surveys too, to find out what their thought process is on their thing. And 90% of buyers would use their agent again or recommend agent to others. However, 83 to 89% of those buyers end up using another agent because they can't remember their name. So being in constant contact with someone, they're going to remember your name if it's there all the time. So how silly is that, y'all? We don't think about that, but it's true. It's right there in black and white from the National Association of Realtors. So they would use you again if they could remember your name. So let's get our names out there.
Go ahead.
When you personalize your interaction with people, and this is for past clients, but it's also for people that you have on hold. So those are your clients too. I could have probably taken the past part out of this and just said retention for clients, because sometimes you have someone who's on hold. They're in that nurturing stage where they're not quite ready to do what they want to do. Maybe they got to work on their credit and stuff like that. You should be talking to those people regularly. Don't assume that as soon as they're ready, they're going to call you, because again, they can't remember your name, right? So
exactly.
getting a hold of your clients, keeping involved in the community so they can see if you're posting on social and stuff, that you're out and about and that you're not just a transactional type person. One of the things that we do at Homestar, so you all know, is we try to tell you to create relationships. And this is part of what we're talking about, right? Create relationships instead of just being transactional, and you'll get more referrals and people using you over and over. So reach out to people. If you sold them a home before, send that first year home anniversary card. You can find a ton of stuff in your 21online.com, whether it's through email, whether it's through the mail. And the good tip that Tony gave you right at the beginning of here is send it to the new buyer. You know their address
And
because they
one of
live
the,
at the house.
I've been doing this so long and coaching agents, and sometimes I come up with things to show how serious it is. And I thought about this. Like I said, most agents don't follow up with their people because they go, I just sold them a house. So I go, well, how often would you follow up with them? Say they closed today. How much would you follow up with them? They go, the rest of this year, 2023, I think I'm going to buy 5 more houses. How often would you call that person? If they said, I'm going to buy 5 more houses this year, you're probably going to follow up with them like every month, a couple every week. What do you need? What do you that? Every single person, well, I'll just say this, most people that you sell a house to will buy 5 houses this year. Not them. They know people. They have referrals. They have friends. They have relatives. They have kids. They have parents. They have stuff. They can find people. So if you think about that mentality, these people are going to give me 5 new clients this year. How often should I follow up with them? Just say, hey, or keep me in mind. Do you have anybody, referrals? But like, like, are you ready to, if they say I'm buying 5 houses, you say, well, are you ready to buy now? You got to change that script. Do you know anybody that's ready to buy now? I'm sure you know somebody that is got married, someone got divorced, someone had a baby, someone got a new job, someone, is relocating. If you build a relationship, like Debbie was just saying, and you get closer to them, they feel more comfortable talking to you just about life and knowing them, they'll start giving you more referrals. And that's what the very good agents and teams do. And that's the ones that keep on getting business. Guess what it is? I say this, it takes your time, but it's free. It's free. I mean, it's other than your time. You don't have to pay for it or pay a referral fee to some company for it. You could keep on getting it and getting it.
Yep.
So go ahead. Next, Deb.
Send out those birthday cards, those anniversaries. And just so all you know who are with Homestar, that your Moxie Works already has the birthday card, the anniversary, all of that stuff in your Engage and also in your Impress. So you don't have to worry about creating stuff. It's already there. Same with your Express Docs if you're with us. Express Docs has a ton of stuff in there that you can use as well. So it's all about staying on their radar, following up, like Tony said, doing something frequent, whether it's once a month or once every couple months or whatever, depending on who it is that you're trying to contact. You can use the automation, like I just said, that's already there in your system, and use social media because everybody goes on social these days, or do a pop by, which we talk about all the time, right, at the end of our sessions. So it's really important to do that. This is your business. I know I say it over and over again, but it's true. It's your business and it's only going to grow if you work it.
Sure. Next, go ahead.
When you're creating memorable experiences, do a little bit of extra research if you can. I don't mean stalk people, but when you're talking to them, hopefully it gets to a friendly vibe so that you can remember things about their birthdays, or maybe they're having a baby, and showcase those. Make sure you send them a greeting or something. So it's all about communication. Celebrate their milestones, even if you're like on social media and you're on your Facebook or whatever, and you see one of your clients post something that happens that's special in their life, like it, comment on it, so that you're creating a dialogue and they say, oh yeah, that's my real estate agent, she's really paying attention. So it's those little things. I don't know about you, but it's always nice when someone even just comments a nice thing about what you're wearing that day, or gives you a smile when you're at the grocery store and everybody's not so grumpy. Be approachable.
Yeah, no, and one thing, and I mentioned this in another video, we have a great title company. One of the, we have a few that we like to recommend when someone doesn't have one, but we have a great title company. They consistently spend time on social media. When they see something, a nice photo or something, that they actually print it out and mail it to a photo to us. And how much does that cost? You have a color printer and some decent paper, they probably do, and just said, hey, I saw this up on your Facebook. It looks like a great photo of you and your kids or son or birthday or whatever. Looks like a great event, keep us in mind. And those pictures they're in our house. And I know who sent them. It's a reminder. So, I don't feel it's stalking. I mean, sometimes you could, but when a nice picture pops up, but I know, being in the business of sales, that title person is spending X amount of time every day, once a week, couple times a week, going, this is my social media prospecting time. I'm going to mail some stuff out. I'm going to send it out and get it to people to show that I watch and think things are good.
Yeah.
Next, go ahead.
Have a plan. Create a communication calendar. You can do it for using your Google Calendar. Like my Google Calendar I use for everything, right? Because it's on my phone, it's in my Moxie, it's on my computer, it's readily available. So that way who you have to stay in touch with. Even if you just make a plan through your Engage system on 21 Online in MoxieWorks, you can set up a plan that way. And what is that called, right? That is called a campaign, in case you don't know. So you're planning ahead things so that you can actually get them into your system and mix up your media. Maybe you want to drop something off at one point. Maybe you want to send them a social greeting. Maybe you want to send them something in the mail, because we cannot put things in people's mailboxes. Maybe it's a simple text message. So until someone actually tells you to stop sending things or they unsubscribe from you, keep doing it.
Exactly. No, it's great.
If you don't know what to say to someone when you're trying to figure out things like that, you can just say something like, hey, it's Debbie from Century 21 Homestar. I know it's been a while since we worked together. But I just wanted to touch base and see how you're doing. Every agent that works at Homestar knows that I do this every day because I'm calling them every day. You should practice the same thing. Call people, even if you get their voicemail, leave them a message, because you're going to be constantly on their mind. And then when they do need something from you, just like our agents, when they need something from us, they'll call me. And they'll be like, you're a mind reader. I just was like getting ready to call you. It's going to be a total benefit to you and your business if you do that. Sit down with others if you want, or you can even contact Tony and I to set up some brainstorm sessions on things. But like your example of sending the past buyer their closing statement or a CMA, if it's been more than 1 year since they closed, all of you people that work with Homestar, if you're not in MoxieWorks and you haven't set up your website and you're engaged to Engage Neighborhood News, I highly encourage you to do that. Neighborhood News is a great program. It's a marketing report for their area. And it's not a CMA for their house, but it's a marketing report for their area. So you can send that to anyone and say, hey, if you want a free market report for your area, contact me now, or go to my website and click Neighborhood News, and they can sign up themselves. And that's a good lead capture way to get new leads. And it's also a way to have the people who you sold homes to know what's happening in the area.
Right. No, and also the closing statements, I know we don't get them all the time from the title company, but most of them will give them to you if you want. And usually they might need them for tax purposes the first year, when they sell their house. So anybody selling their house this year or buying a house, they might need that information for taxes. So at the beginning of the year, before, taxes are due. It's something you could send to people. I mean, you could scan, you don't have to an email, or you could mail, but something to do to send to them. And a yearly CMA or marketing report or something once a year is something you can do. Sometimes agents, sometimes agents say, oh, well, during the holidays, between Thanksgiving and New Year's might be like, oh, slower. It shouldn't be slower for you. You should be busier. This is when you cannot contact people beginning of the year. Sometimes like, oh, it's slower in the winter time. Well, it should be, you're spending more hours contacting people and doing these marketing reports and things for them. And there's very easy ways to do it quickly. Like I just know you could automatically, outside of MoxieWorks, if you didn't learn MoxieWorks yet, you could just go right in the MLS, put in an address in Realist, click comparative market analysis. Might not be the greatest, but it's something, and prints out you could email that to somebody. All you have to do is type in a name, hit a button, download it, email it to somebody. How long does that take? You probably get one done in 2 minutes from start to finish if you get good at it. And then 2 minutes, you could do 30 an hour and send it to 30 people. You work, 10 hours in a week on it. There you go. There's 300 people. There's everybody in your database. You could get done in a couple of days or a week and send them an updated market analysis of our CMA. So just ideas to stay in contact with people.
Yep.
All right. CE coming up.
Our upcoming CEU is with Hesh on March 2nd. That's the first one that's coming up. And then on the 22nd, Mike Ferrante is going to talk about DocuSign versus .loop. He uses DocuSign, so he knows a lot about that for his thing. Just remember, for Hesh and for Mike, those Zoom CEUs, you have to have your camera on. You got to be visible all the time, or you will not get credit, and you can't dial into it. You have to actually have your video camera on. So it's the same as if you were sitting in a classroom.
Yeah, and I'm going to work on Mike to see if we could get him like a landing page like Hesh.
Yeah, right.
So we could just so it's easy, it's not like this long link, or we could tell people go to this website just like that, find the class. So I'm going to work with Mike on that. I think that might be helpful for people too, so you don't have to worry about a link. But Debbie or I'll be happy to send you the link. Reach out to each one of us, text us, call us, email, or just let us know. We'll send you the link to the class.
Yeah, right. Absolutely.
Yep. And last, go ahead.
Okay, my little tidbit for today is it's National Banana Bread Day on February 23rd. I think this is hilarious. If you made a little thing like this, and even if you're a baker and you make a little tiny loaves of bread and you drop them off to your past clients, that's really cute. Or people that you're working with right now, because you don't want to ignore them as well. Keep them. That's how you're going to keep them, right? We have one agent who bakes every single year. She bakes the challah bread and all different flavors and such, and she gives that out to all of her clients that she's working with now, and she also sends it to her past clients. Mike usually does the pie day during the holidays and stuff like that, but National Banana Bread Day is February 23rd, which is today.
Right, that's right. And you could put a banana bread recipe.
Yes, or even do that.
Yeah, you could do that too.
If you don't want to bake the bread, do the recipe. Exactly. That's a great idea.
All right, and I'm just going to throw out an interesting fact that I saw, like in one of these specials about weird things or weird truths, is about bananas. About 80% of the bananas that are grown never see the stores. That they waste like 80% of the bananas out there because they don't look perfect. Like all the bananas you see is usually about no more than 20% of actually the bananas that grow. The rest just what do they do? They just put them somewhere, just I don't know, make mulch out of them. I don't know, what do they do with them? But they also in there that the bananas are so cost effective, that it's costs too much money to give them away for free. So they can't, wherever they have these bananas, they can't even get like free truckloads. They have to really like dispose of them somehow. So I thought it was weird because they were showing different bananas and like, yeah, because if you put the 80% of the bananas on the shelves, even though they're good bananas, they don't look nice. We
Yeah.
won't buy them. So,
Right,
I
unless you're
thought
gonna
that,
make banana bread, because
yeah,
you
I
don't
would
want
thought, I
the,
think there
you
would
want
be
the
banana,
imperfect ones, right?
right? I would think there'd be banana. Maybe it's harder to peel because they're all crooked or something like that. Every time I think of bananas, I think of that. So, all right. Well, that's it, everybody. We appreciate you joining us today. I'll stop sharing there. And remember, reach out to Debbie or myself. We'd love to help out in any which way we can and get you to the next level. We don't make money unless you make money. So anything we can to train you, help you, we're there for you. So, all right. Thanks, Deb. Have a good day. Thanks, everybody, for joining us.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.